Where even are we on this thing? Looks like we still have a while to go. I think, like, I really wish I could, it would be so fun to just write something down, like figure out exactly what it is about the 6th generation that I really like. Part of it's obviously nostalgia. I think, you know, it's what I grew up with, and that's too far. It's the generation I remember the most, growing up at least, and a lot of good times. I feel like I must be missing something. Unless I'm supposed to just jump from up here. There we go. But like it's an era like, you know, we had 3D platformers really start becoming a thing in the late 90s, and the 6th generation is kind of that era to perfect that. Now of course, like as time goes on there will always be improvements to any genre. Um, but like it's for like 3D platformers, it's them getting out of that I want to say baby phase, like just growing up, you know, growing pains. I feel like we haven't seen the invincibility one for a while now. That's too high. Hold on, is there... They're not moving down, right? Like they're... Okay, it does seem like they do move, so I have to be kind of quick about it. Fuck off, game. Well, let's go do that again. Let's get that. Um... Yeah, it's just like a mix of... Yeah, early, like, a lot of, and I should say not even just like 3D platformers, but just 3D graphics in general. That they are, it's quickly becoming like the new main thing, right? And there's a lot of work into these bigger, more advanced games as we like move more away from 2D stuff. Seems like a big growing phase for the gaming industry, and it's becoming mainstream. I think graphically too, I have a soft spot for how these games look. Because obviously it's not like they look bad. Comparably speaking to today's games, yes, but like obviously they were doing their best to make these games look, you know, good as possible. And there's just something about it that I like, the early 3D look, you know. Fuck. I wonder if I'm supposed to jump from up there and around the corner. I mean, I can see that. That looks so, like, so close. Like, Spyro should be able to pull himself up there. I think we'll give it one more go, but Spyro totally looks like he should be able to just grab onto that ledge and pull himself up. Come on, Spyro, you're a big boy. Just pull yourself up. Okay, well, we're gonna try the other thing that I was saying, which is go around and fly, like, jump from up there and fly around. Because Spyro apparently won't pull himself up on the ledge. I mean, maybe you can't do it in steel form, I don't know. I don't see any reason why they would make such a weird and odd decision, but, you know. I've obviously said before too that I think the 6th generation is just a generation that was cut short when it didn't need to be. And it's funny because as much as I'm a Xbox guy, it's Microsoft who, you know, is the one that cut the generation short, which makes me upset. Because they were just losing so much on the original Xbox. There we go. I just, like, I always imagine, like, imagine if they just did like another 2 years, you know. Because I think some games that were coming out, like Black and Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, like some of those games look amazing, and it only makes me like, damn, I wonder how amazing some other games could have looked if they were also on the original Xbox, if they were designed with the original Xbox in mind, you know. And obviously, like, you know, moving to a new generation early and stuff, and you get the HD graphics and stuff, like, yeah, you could say graphics are advancing more quickly, but in some case, maybe we jumped into the HD era a little too fast. I don't know. I'm just rambling, you know. It's just an era I wish lasted longer. I think there could have been, it would have been especially interesting just to see more, if some more games. Like I've always been like, imagine like the first Gears of War on the original Xbox.
Ah, there you are, my favorite wallet.
So imagine if Halo 3 was an original Xbox title. Like, damn. I'll say I don't say this thinking like that the games would, like, you know, graphically they would obviously look different. But even then, like, when you're getting more into level design and other aspects, you'd have to make changes there for less powerful hardware. I even remember like reading that, like, you know, COD 4 was gonna be on 6th generation consoles, or at least the original Xbox, but Microsoft just cut the support for the console so soon after. Like 2006 was like the last year that it got a lot of games. And then you have, I think you have like literally the one game from 2008, which was like a football game. And then just a handful from 2007, I think. Okay, hang on, is this? Okay, so this area is like extra or something else. Is it gonna be a guy? Barely got you. So many of these chests have just been gems here. I think that is all. I don't know, this whole area back here though seems weird, just that because it's platforming. Imagine if like the first Assassin's Creed game was on 6th generation consoles, you know? Yeah, let's just keep going forward. I don't know, I just find it fun to think about, you know? Because like remember with the PlayStation 2, that was still getting games until 2013. And I think part of the reason is it was probably easy to develop for. It was, you know, I'm pretty sure it was cheaper and it was well known because like play movies off of it. You could play all your PS1 games off of it. And it's, you know, it's one of those things where like if anything, the PS2 showed that like you don't need a powerful console to be successful because that was the weakest console 2000 of the 6th generation, which. Also, I think like mindsets and stuff have changed since then. Like things have changed since that era, but and we talk more about hardware and consoles and stuff. I would be interested to see back in 2000, 2001, 2002 how many people were digging into the hardware of those consoles and being like, well, this is this good and that is that good and that kind of stuff, you know. I would be interested. If anyone, I'm sure there were some people, but it definitely wasn't. I would be surprised if it's like today, where now it's like the companies are like, here's the hardware we're putting in here, here's how impressive it is, yada yada yada. Getting a bunch of stuff, and now I'm out of keys. It's just a case where I wish Microsoft supported the console for a bit longer and didn't rush the 360. Because then the 360 also could have had Blu-ray and shit. Which would have just meant like that some games didn't require you to install one CD and then, you know, and then actually be able to play. Because I think I said before that, hang on. I've said before with, or I was saying earlier that because like Microsoft, I can't completely blame it on Microsoft because I don't know the stories, but there are some games that just for whatever reason did not get like original Xbox releases, and it confuses the fuck out of me. In some cases it could have been more of just stuff going on with the developer or the publisher. But I kind of like to point to the second Legend of Spyro game that has a Wii and a PlayStation 2 release? I don't get it. That's a dangerous game. Like, if you ask me, that is one of the weirdest release things. Like, yeah, it's released on two of the best-selling consoles, but it is just so odd, is all, you know? Because you're, like, you still have a fair amount of people that either don't have the Wii yet, even though that thing was selling, like, hotcakes, and you have people, you know, who either have the original Xbox or 360, because Xbox, like in this case, Xbox the owners are just completely screwed out. And then you have PlayStation owners who, I'm sure there are some who got the PlayStation 3 as their first console, so, which I don't think had backwards compatibility. I can't remember if the PlayStation 3 did or not. Anyway, it's just weird. That's my point. We gotta be close, right? Also, I tested my games. I am sad to say that one of them was damaged, and I have gone ahead and asked if I can get a refund. I won't be super upset if I can't. Like, yeah, I still spent like $20 on it, and I would like to have a refund, but it's not a case where I spent, it's not like it was a first party title that I spent like $80 on if it was like the GameCube or something. It is funny because like on the Xbox you can get Halo 1 or 2 for like dirt cheap, but if you want a first party Nintendo game, you're gonna pay a pretty penny. Like, you're still gonna be paying around retail price, which is fucking ridiculous. Where are we now? What's this new area? Magma Falls Top. No house in here, by the way. Oh goody, my favorite friend. Come on, you're so close. Oh, it's one of those. $37,000 exactly. We're already pretty close to being back to like the 43K I had before I bought a bunch of shit.